that person. And you should. There's no doubt. This is the way we should operate in life. Because if we continue to see good, even in a negative person, guess what? We learned the lesson that we should keep them far. But seeing some element of good in them will do what? Will stop us from having any what? Negative emotions toward that. Because again, we saw what negative emotions do, right? Anger, again, let's repeat it for the people who are not here when we said it. Anger is like you drinking poison and wanting that person to die. It is never going to happen. Who's going to die in the process of you drinking poison? You. Who's going to get sick in the process of you harboring negative emotions towards another person? You. You know what this becomes? Obsession. Obsession is not just a cologne. It's not just a cologne. When you dislike someone because he's done you wrong or she's done you wrong, guess what happens? You become obsessed with that poor person more than when you love a person. Actually, the people you love in life, the people who are doing the good things for you, you don't even acknowledge them anymore. That person who did you wrong is on your mind only. Isn't that right? Right? Sona will tell you, she's a psychologist. Yeah? That person is on your mind 24/7, as a matter of fact. Why? Because you are stuck in yesterday, in what that person did. And guess what? When this happens, there's no room to do what? Aage chale. There's no room to go forward or progress. Parma puneet na jai taji ke prema barupa. All of this comes from this beautiful line here only. She is too pure. Again, this is okay. I gave you the worldly sense. She is too pure. A good person always sees good. But here's the thing with the Lord. Now we're talking about the Lord now. We were talking about us just now, you and I. Now, no matter what kind of person we are, understand that Ishvara. Remember we looked at Ishvara Kripa. Did we do it this morning or last night? This morning, I think, in Bhagavad Gita class. Did we talk about Ishvara Kripa last night? Last night we did that. So Ishvara Kripa, Shastra Kripa, Guru Kripa. These three Kripas, Mata Pita Kripa as well. When you have the grace of Ishvara, especially Ishvara Kripa, guess what? That Lord never leaves you no matter what. You can be the most atrocious person, doesn't mean you're going to be it. But say you end up by accident losing yourself. And tomorrow we're going to see how a person falls down the stairway of emotions. And it's a very deep thing. How, from one point, what causes the downfall in our life? And what happens as a result? But when we have Ishvara Kripa, understand that even when we fall down that stairway of negativity, which we sometimes can fall into because of emotions, He is always there to do what? Pick us up. Only when you fall can you be lifted. This is the idea that we must have. So, Lord Shiva sees that Sati made a great error. But is it the end of the day for her? No. He still sees good. But, Kiye prema bada papu. He is not forgetting rather what? The great sin that she did also. And he is still in his mind saying that if he loves her or trusts her just the same, it will be what? A great papa on his part. You see? If he loves her just the same as he did before, it will be a great, not papa, error. This papa word means error or a folly on his part. Just like in the past we saw, right? The chaupai that precedes this one. Miti bhagati patu hoyaniti. If I continue to be the same way, it will be what? Totally against what? My values in life, right? And we said yesterday also that we should never compromise who we are for anyone. Those kids who are here today, the youngsters. People's friends will try to come and influence you, okay? They will try to come and influence you, especially in high school. Middle school is happening, especially in college. But should we follow them? Should we compromise who we are? Should we compromise the values that we grew up with just to be friends with them? No. You'd rather have no friends. Having a friend that is toxic to you is worth less in your life. What you should have is the ability to be alone sometimes. Only when you're alone can you grow the most. There's less distractions in your life. Take it from me. I have experience. Okay? So, Parma Punita Najai Tadi Ke Prem Bad Papu Pragati Na Kahata Mahesu Kachu. After this, Lord Shiva said nothing. Pragati Na Kahata Mahesu Kachu. He said absolutely nothing. He was silent. Lord Shiva is teaching us subtly how to be in our life. You know, here's the thing. We get into some sort of trouble. Not all of us, right? Some of us. Maybe if you've never got into trouble, that's a blessing. But sometimes it happens unexpectedly, not to your fault, right? Say you do land into a situation that's unfavorable. You know, you go and tell your best friend. Isn't that true? Your best friend, you go and tell. You go tell friends, people who are outside of the home. And guess what happens the next day? Like wildfire, your story has spread all throughout the town. Okay? And then you have to pick up and leave that town. That's actually what happened to Sita Ma. Honestly, we were having Anupji and I and Balaji this morning when we were at the lake. We were discussing, how could Sri Ram abandon Sita like that? This is the answer I gave. Very simple answer. Sri Ram's love for Sita was so great that he could not tolerate the people of that town slandering his wife. And Rama looked at Sita as not only his wife, as his student, as his daughter, as everything. As someone who he cared tremendously for. And he sent her there for what? Protection. He would have went too, but he had Putra Dharma, which was the Dharma of a son. And what was the Dharma of a son? To take over his father's kingdom. So you see, he was in a position, but Sita Ma understood. Now, when Sita went into that, when she was kidnapped by Ravan, was it real Sita?
No.
It was Maya Sita. It was a shadow of Sita, casted by Sita herself, because they both knew what was happening. If Sita didn't go with Ravan that day, Maya Sita, the rest of the Ramayana wouldn't have happened. It would have happened this way. Sita Ram lived in the Kutiya in Aranya, happily ever after. And Ravan would have still been laughing his 10 heads away in Lanka. So Maya Sita went, Sri Ram went to destroy that Ravan, and then finally what happened? She came out of Ravan's palace and they went into Agni Pariksha, isn't that right? From the fire came the real Sita. But do you think the people understood that?
No.
Sometimes what are people good for? Yap, 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 yap.
Gossip.
Gossip, gossip, gossip. Not you, New York. And you may be thinking, when I'm in New York, what do I say?
Orange County does it.
I don't say Orange County. I say London. So this is the thing. In life, this is the thing. People like to talk. Why? Because we give them ammunition. We tell them things about us that they do what? They run with. You know what is the best thing to do when you're in a problem? What did Mahesh do?
Talk to God.
Pragati na kahatam Mahesu kachu. He didn't even say a word. He sat in contemplation and in silence. And another word for silence is Bhagavan. When you sit in silence, know that you have made the connection to God. When noise is in your mind, as we saw before, that connection is impossible. And when you make that connection, understand that the answers are what? Going to come automatically. You don't need to even sit in front of Murti. When you see the form of God, that shows that you are trying to make the connection. But when you can make the connection internally, through silence, there is no better thing. I had a Muslim friend, and remember I shared the story with one big shah. This Muslim friend of mine said, I'm jealous of you. I said, why? Because I live in New York? No, I'm not jealous because of that. I don't want to live in New York. He said, anyway, he said, I'm jealous because you're Hindu. I said, really? Why? He said, in Hinduism, you can have a relationship with God. He can be your father, he can be your mother, he can be your sister, he can be your brother. He can be your child even, isn't that true?
Yes.
Bala Krishna. He said he doesn't even know what Allah looks like. He does namaz 5 times a day to what he doesn't know. That's what he told me. And he said, I don't know. I can't make a connection. Some of us need that saguna form to make a connection. But does it end there?
No.
You know what the murti is, right? Murti is the idol. I don't like to use the word idol, but murti. When you connect to the murti, the world of information comes out. For example, you know the icons on the computer or your apps on your phones? Those apps are like murtis. When you click that app, what happens? The world of information comes out of that. Isn't that right? But you think it's only, it's fair enough to just watch the Facebook app, the F? You know, the Facebook app has that F on it. You think it's enough to just watch that and you're going to see profiles and things like that?
No.
Or CNN app? Do we just watch that app? No. What we have to do is what? Click that app, and what happens? The world of information comes into our mind. Similarly, when we have a murti like Hanumanji's picture, who sits so beautifully there, you think it's enough just to look at Hanumanji and admire him? That's okay. But until you adhere or practice the philosophies therein, it makes no change in your life. For example, what does Hanumanji represent? Bal, Buddhi, and Vidya. Strength, courage, and knowledge. Sorry, strength, intelligence, and wisdom. Yeah. Here's this. When you have these 3 things, what are they? We're talking about Hanumanji and what he represents to practice in our life. Clicking on the murti now. Bal is what? Courage. Buddhi is what? Intelligence.
Vidya.
And Vidya is? Knowledge. Only when someone has these 3 things are they considered to be what? Successful in life. Isn't that right? I can have all the strength in the world, muscles galore, I work out every day, yeah. If I don't have intelligence and knowledge, am I successful in this world? I can have brawn, but if I don't have brain, am I useful in the world? Absolutely not. If I don't have courage, but I have intelligence and no practical experience, no vidya, no knowledge, right? If I have intellect but no knowledge and no strength and only intellect, am I successful? Why? Because I didn't put my intellect to use. You see? Some of us are so great, but the thing is we haven't used our intellect to do what? To grow and advance in life. You're never too old to learn. You see us sitting here today, this is the youngest we'll ever be.
Yes.
You see, people say, if only 10 years younger. If I was 10 years younger, I would have done this. I'd have learned some yoga. I would have went to learn some music. I would have went to do this, Today is the youngest you'll ever be. Therefore, you start now. Use your intellect to grow and expand your mind now. Say you don't have any intelligence. You don't have any strength. But you have knowledge. Is that going to do anything for you? Why? Because you won't be able to apply your intellect anywhere. So it is important for us to do what? Cultivate a fit body, strength. Cultivate a fit intellect and mind. And then do what? Apply the knowledge in everyday living. You see how it works? So when we do this, when we sit in contemplation, when we focus on the murti, or not even the murti, when we get to the next level, and we focus on the silence within, we end up making a deeper connection with God. Okay? So take these lessons home tonight. Tomorrow we'll continue to review. We saw Parama Punit, that Lord never drops you. In life, He is there to pick you up when times are bad. Bad times will happen. It's a matter of what? The way your mindset is at the time. Keep away from what? Fair weather and negative friends, right? And understand when you land into a problem, you do what? Tell the world. You remain silent. You connect to God. Ram, 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 Bole Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Bole Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की अमर निधि हनुमान की दुर्गेश्वरी माता की ओम हर हर नमः पार्वती पते हर हर नमः महादेव श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. So I thank you all for coming tonight. I hope it was beneficial for you.
Yes.
I hope you had as much as a good time. As much as I had a good time, I hope you had as much as a good time. Did you?
Yes. More.
Good. And not only good time, I hope you learn the lesson, okay? Just like here, when I teach, I'm not teaching. I'm not a teacher by any means. All I am is someone who's what? Sharing knowledge. And all of us, when we learn, what is the biggest duty?
Share.
Parama dharma of a teacher. Or not a teacher, someone who has knowledge. Or read something. To share. Yeah? So, with that said, tomorrow afternoon, 6:30 to 7:30, we have the Bhajan Sandhya. So those of you who can make it, please make it. Then 7:30 to 8:30 again, Ramayana Yagna. That continues tomorrow night and concludes Saturday night, okay? Saturday night, we're having question and answer. So it's not going to be Yagna that night. It's question and answer. Tomorrow morning, we continue our Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7. We're going to wrap it up tomorrow. So those of you who missed out, if you want to come tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. we start. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, the knowledge of supreme reality and wisdom.